Good afternoon, everybody. We are now live for this year's Gluten-free Living Show, which you could nearly call it the Gluten-free Living Week. And we are delighted to be joined by Mr. Kevin Dundon, all the way from Dunbrody House in County Wexford. Hi, Kevin. How are things in the sunny southeast this morning?
Oh, it's fantastic. The sun is splitting the ground here. It's been a glorious morning, and it looks like it's going to be a glorious afternoon. So
well,
it's great to be involved again with you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kevin. So, Kevin, how has lockdown been treating you? I mean, obviously, it's been very difficult for the hospitality sector this year. It's been a bit of an up and down. How are things going for you and your family?
Yeah, well, it's been a very interesting year for us and for everybody else all over the world. But we closed the hotel on the 14th of March, and we reopened on the 20th of July. But during that time, we spent a lot of time with our online presence. So we did we do 2 o'clock lives every day on our Instagram and Facebook pages. We're doing online cookery courses. So that kind of kept us busy. We did 1 day a week, we did takeaways from our local pub, which was fun. We did picnic in the park. We were trying to be innovative. And you know what was interesting is that you reached out to people that you would never reached out before. So from all over the world, like we've followers from Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Canada, US, like all over the world, Peru, and it's just brilliant to see, for people to see what we have here in the southeast corner of Ireland.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to be able to get out there and showcase the culinary, both the culinary skills and the quality of produce that is being made in Ireland at the moment as well. I see you have our food list on your lap.
Listen, I was just looking at it, and there's like over 7,000 items on this list. I'd say 5 years ago, the list was probably on an A4 sheet of paper. Yes. Isn't it phenomenal how it's just transformed from one page to a booklet this thick? And it's like, I was just saying, is for people that have been recently diagnosed with celiac, what a Bible to have in your hand. Like what a start. And I was just looking here, like, I mean, even if you just look at SuperValu's involvement in the book, like we've got over 100 products that are in your book. And we actually have a free from aisle in every store across the chain that gives you confidence and to go and shop within SuperValu and look at all the products. Like even today, for example, like we're doing this beautiful lemon curd mousse, which is delicious, right? But we're actually going to make the lemon curd. But I just noticed that we also have a signature taste lemon curd, which is actually in your booklet. I was delighted to see that because it just makes it so much easier for you to make, which is brilliant. It's like a lot of the recipes that we would do. I wouldn't use a lot of flour in my cooking or like gluten in my cooking. I like to do reductions, and I just think it's a healthier way of eating anyways. Yes. I think it's most important when if this is new to you, or even if you're an existing celiac for a number of years, I think it's really important to develop recipes and follow our recipes on the SuperValu website, or indeed there's a link on your hub as well back to our recipes that the whole family will eat. So you're not doing 2 meals. It's very important that you find products and recipes that work for the whole family.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely.
Really important.
And that's one of the areas we want to try and I suppose focus on as well, is that we are obviously the Celiac Society of Ireland, but there are more and more people who are actually being diagnosed as non-celiac gluten intolerant, and we want to help those people as well. And that's what the gluten-free food list does. It helps people, like you say, on their journey from the very beginning, even to creating their own recipes or piggybacking off the wonderful recipes that Mr. Kevin Dundon puts out there on a weekly basis. And like you say, there's those fantastic free from aisles as well in SuperValu. Speaking of SuperValu, actually, we are giving away some prizes on today's cookery demonstration.
Of course we are.
Definitely. We here in the Celiac Society have a €50 super value voucher to give away, as well as a membership for the society as well. So you get free membership with the Celiac Society. We're also giving away a dietetic appointment with our in-house dietitian, Sarah Keogh. We also have a couple of food hampers. We have a Schnitzer bread love box. I'm not quite sure what's in that, but I'm really looking forward to seeing. And a Shelton distribution hamper as well, coming up to Halloween. I'm sure that'll be very welcome in some houses. So Kevin, listen, I know you would like to get cracking on your lemon curd. If there's anything else you'd like to say to our participants, we are now up to nearly 200 people on the call here this afternoon, which is great, and on the webinar.
Brilliant. I just want to, just because it's Monday and just because we're feeling really happy and generous, we're going to throw in another €50 voucher for Super Value for the best question that you're going to, that someone's going to put forward. Listen, guys. The most important thing about these webinars is to interact and to ask as many questions as you possibly can. Because the more questions you ask, the more answers I can give you, or we can give you, and just help you out. And the whole trick with cooking here and anything we do, it's to inspire you to cook other recipes. So you might see me cook something and you go, wow, that's a really interesting way of doing it. And you'll think of something that you want to cook yourself by using the same principles of how we're cooking. I think that's really important. So let's get into the kitchen and start cooking. So that's the most important thing. Really excited. We're actually going to do 3 beautiful recipes for you today. So the first recipe I want to talk to you about, this is a quiche, right? But it's no ordinary quiche. We're actually going to do, instead of using pastry, we're actually using a mashed potato casing. How cool is that?
Pretty cool.
It's like super simple to make. So all we have here, we have our quiche tin here, and we've just put a little bit of parchment paper at the bottom of our dish here. So that's cool. So we can all do that bit. Okay, and then we have some mashed potato here, just like so. And you can see inside there. So we've just mashed that. And what we've done is we've actually put some of our Parmesan cheese, the signature taste Parmesan cheese, through that, and then basically that cheese has just melted through the mash. So you can imagine you're getting those fantastic flavors through the mash. It is important, however, that you use a flowery potato. So the best potato to use on this is a rooster potato. So that's a lovely flowery potato, and basically because you want the starch in the potato in order for it to stick together and form a beautiful crust. Okay.
My mother always said a good rooster was never a bad masher, so therefore, ergo.
It's my favorite potato.
I'm telling you, mine too.
Yeah, it's my go-to potato. So I mean, that's just really good. So it's literally we're just going to put our mashed potato into our dish, and the only way to do this really is to get your hands in there. So you're going to push that down, and you're going to kind of form the crust. See the way I'm just pushing it down like so?
Yeah. Kevin, I have a couple of questions coming in. You're right, they are starting to roll in. So what would you recommend as a sugar replacement in recipes?
Well, you have a couple. The one that I recommend is, well, 2. Honey is your natural sugar.
Obviously, yeah.
But then you have agar, which is from the cactus plant from the South America region. And that's like, it's super sweet. So only use half the quantity of what you think you're going to need. So
agave. Okay, I'll just put that up here for people to see.
Yeah. See the way I'm just pushing that out now, okay? So you kind of want it slightly thicker than what you would normally do on a pastry, okay? And then people always say to me when I'm normally in person with you guys, they struggle with pastry. Now we do have a brilliant recipe up on the Super Value website, that's supervalue.e, for a short crust pastry, which is gluten free, and it works. And I think that's really important, that you'll find that all our recipes work, because we test every single recipe here in Dundon House before we send them through to be posted on our website. So
Kevin, a question in here: can this recipe you're doing today, can it be made in advance and frozen?
Yes, can, of course. Yeah. So
fantastic.
That is like super important. Now we're going to put that into our oven. Okay, so you can see it there. They're all good. Okay, that's going into the oven at quite a high temperature, actually, at 200 degrees Celsius, and that's going to stay in there for about 10 minutes while we make up the mixture. Okay, I'm just going to quickly wash my hands here.
Kevin, while you're washing your hands, gluten-free flour, you know, you can't just add a gluten-free flour as a substitute into an ordinary flour recipe because of the difference, I suppose, in absorption rates. Is that correct?
You can. So what you need to do is you need to add xanthan gum into the flour, and that kind of gives you the glutinous that you're looking for to bind everything together.
Okay.
You'll notice now, so be careful now, that a lot of the gluten-free flours out there now actually have xanthan already added to the product. So just read the back. It's very important, as we know, to read the ingredients on the back.
That's right,
of all the packaging. And you'll see that it's some of them have xanthan gum. If it has xanthan gum in, you don't need to add it. If it doesn't, add a little bit. Do you know what's a great flour to make that you can actually make yourself at home? Is if you get gluten-free oats, like your porridge,
Yeah.
gluten-free ones, and blitz them in a liquidizer.
Right.
And you're actually making your own flour.
All right, that's a handy one to know.
Yeah, so
and can you just then substitute that one for one in any other sort of flour recipe?
Yes, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Oh, great, fantastic.
So we're going to cook up some vegetables here to go into, because we're making a vegetable quiche. I probably should have said that to you at the start. But that's okay. So we're all on the same page now, so that's good. So I'm going to top and tail it, okay, and then lengthways, like so.
The young man here who's saying he's a young athlete and having celiac disease, is there anything you recommend before or after training for physical activity that's easy to whip up and fuel the body? I would say this quiche. This
quiche is really good. We're also going to be doing another recipe. We're actually going to be using peanut butter and almond butter cookies, but they'd be really good because they're really high in protein and really good for you. So we have our leeks there.
That's one fairly big leek.
Certainly is. So it's good. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in my pan here, okay? And then I'm going to put in those leeks and get them started.
How long would you do the leeks for about, Kevin?
About 3 to 4 minutes, probably. And then we have a carrot here. So again, top and tail, lengthways. I don't actually peel my carrots, bizarrely enough. I give them a good wash, but I don't peel them. Okay, and then you just want to run your knife through as thin as you can get it, okay? Now, don't get head up over the particular vegetables that we're using here, okay? Whatever vegetables, this is a great way of using up leftover vegetables in your fridge. So you might have a bit of broccoli in there, a bit of cauliflower, some carrots, some onions, whatever vegetables is in there in the fridge. Courgettes would be really good in this. Even some aubergines would be really good in there with the carrots then as well. And we have our onion. Now, onion is not 100% necessary because the leek is actually part of the onion family anyway, so it's totally cool whether you leave it in or leave it out. So these recipes are to inspire you, to get you thinking about what you're actually cooking and what you're actually putting into your recipes, and which is good stuff. Now, what we're going to do is just put a little bit of salt in there, and a little bit of pepper.
Looks good already.
Yeah, looks nice and healthy.
Yes.
What it's all about. Okay, so we have our bowl here with a whisk. We have our cream cheese going in. In that goes. And then we have four eggs. So I cheated because these eggs are my own eggs.
You laid them.
Fix them up in soup pie, shouldn't I?
You laid those eggs.
What's that?
I said you laid. You said they're my own eggs, so you laid them.
No, my girls laid them for me. So
your children laid them for you. Ah, Jesus, Kevin, seriously, you're getting worse.
I've got 35 of my little girls laying eggs every day. So
what kind of hens have you got, Kevin? What kind of hens have you got, Kevin?
We have Rhode Islands, and we have what are the other ones called? The Rhode Islands are the real layers, and then
of course they are.
We have fancy looking yolks. and I can't think of the name. So, okay, we're going to whisk that up. I'll let mixes together. And then into there, we're going to put in our milk. Okay, you want to put in some salt and pepper into that. And you want to keep an eye on these guys too as well.
Somebody has just said that her poor hens have stopped laying. She thinks they're old. She found them wandering on the road and they're rescues. I think that's great. Well done, Shan.
Well done. That's great. So
Okay,
we
here's
have some.
Here's an interesting question for you. If you were a celiac, what food would you miss the most?
I don't know, because I'm able to turn most dishes into celiac friendly. I think probably chocolate eclair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd probably make a really good choux pastry using the gluten-free flour.
That's a challenge for you
I
now.
must try that actually. That'd be a good one to try. So
But
I have some. This is our super value mature white cheddar.
Lovely.
And we're just going to grate that in. Oh, I love cheese. I don't know if I think if I was told I couldn't eat dairy, I think I'd have a bigger problem than if I was told I couldn't eat gluten, quite honestly.
Yeah, well, I can't eat cream, and cream is my thing. I miss most. Ice cream and cream. Sorry, Kevin, did you say this could be made in advance and frozen? You did, didn't you?
You can, of course, yeah. So you can do the whole lot. You can actually cook the whole quiche to completion, and then you can actually let it cool down, portion it, and freeze them individually then, which will work perfect. So we're going to add in our vegetables into our potato case. So that's good. Make sure you get it all out of the pan. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yeah, it looks great, Kevin.
Okay, and now I'm just going to pour in my egg mixture.
Now, just for people who missed earlier on, that's a base that Kevin had pre-made. Now, to the best of my knowledge, when he put the base into the oven, he said 10 to 12 minutes, but keep an eye on it, I'm sure. Is that right, Kevin?
Yeah, we're going to take the other one out now, okay? You can see that probably needs another 5 minutes or so. Okay, so I just need to take it out to put this one in. So that's gone into our oven there. Here we can see it. Oh, by the way, I don't want anybody to get jealous at home, but that's my lunch.
Haha. I was getting more jealous of the cooker than the quiche at the moment, to be honest with you. I love a slidey door cooker.
I know. I don't know. Yeah, they're interesting. I didn't realize there was a sliding door on the first time I used it. And I was doing a gig, and next minute the door disappeared on me. What's going on there? So, it's really good. So while that's in the oven, let's get on to our next recipe. So our next recipe is our lemon curd, and so as I was saying, we're going to show you how to make it naturally, but also Super Value's signature taste, which is actually in your booklet, does a mean lemon curd. Like, this stuff is really good.
I've had that. It's really, really good.
And what's genius about it is when I show you how to make this dessert, it's like a no-brainer, guys. It is, well, you can just cream it. But anybody that can eat cream, it's delicious.
Well, it's more like fresh cream.
Yeah, this is whipped fresh cream that we're going to be using.
Oh,
but
right.
First of all, let me make a lemon curd for you, okay? So I have a pot here with water in it, just simmering away. And then I'm going to put in 2 eggs into a bowl with a whisk. Okay, and I'm going to add in my caster sugar. And then I have a lemon here. I'm going to put in the zest of 1 lemon into Here's that. Do you know, I love cooking with lemon. I just love the freshness of it. And it fills the whole kitchen with a brilliant aroma and flavour.
I wish this was smelly vision rather than
Yeah,
just
exactly.
vision.
Someone's going to have to create that soon, I think.
There's a niche in the market.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when I did some work in Las Vegas and I was doing this gig, and we were in this room and we had created this fantastic, like we had food going out, like being passed to all the people. And I was talking to the president of the casino, and he says, "Kevin, this is amazing." He says, "Would you change anything?" I said, "I'd love to get a smell of like baked bread or something like that coming through the room." He picked up the phone and said to some bread smells into this room, please.
No way.
Press the button, and the smell of freshly baked bread was pumped into the room. It was amazing. So the technology is nearly there, guys. So I just squeeze some lemon juice there. So we have caster sugar, egg yolk, whole eggs, zest of lemon, and the juice of lemon. And just give that a whisk, okay? And then we're going to put it over the heat, and we're just going to cook the eggs. So make sure that you're standing over this, because if you don't stand over it, you will get a beautiful lemon sugary scrambled egg. So
yeah, I was going to say that.
Which is not necessarily what you want. So it is really important that you have it over a pot of boiling water there. Yeah.
Here's a question: should you always use unwaxed lemons for the zest of a lemon?
Yeah, unwaxed lemons is what you need. They're available. They're handy enough to get. Just look for them. If you go into the Super Value, if you go to the organic range, the organic lemons are wax free. So
great. Here's just in relation to the quiche, Kevin. Will the potato go soggy, especially if it's frozen and reheated from frozen?
No, it shouldn't do, because if it's first of all, if the crust is crispy enough when you actually cook it blind, when it goes into the oven first, it will stay crispy. It'll act exactly like pastry. So
I love the fact that you can cook that blind without having to have dried peas and greaseproof paper over it, so it doesn't rise in the middle.
With the potato, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But if you're using pastry, it will. So, and what I find when I do this potato crust, it doesn't absorb the quiche or the egg mixture through. It's not like pastry. That's why it's important that when you use pastry, is that you brush it with an egg wash first, and then back into the oven, just to seal that up.
Now, I do know that some celiacs are allergic to oats, Kevin. So, I mean, have you any substitute for oats for them? I do know you can get gluten-free oats. There are some oats we got.
Yeah, Flowers do gluten-free oats. So
yeah.
I don't like. You know what's quite nice? Actually, you can try that. You can get gluten-free couscous as well. So if you look out for that, you could actually use couscous instead of oats, and you can make a nice porridge-like thing. Which would be quite good. Mom, we're looking for a really good question off you guys.
Yeah,
to get that €50 Super Value voucher. There's some good ones coming in, so I have one of mine. So
I've seen let me just go back here again. Somebody's looking for the recipe from your focaccia bread that you made at the last gluten-free living show in the Red Cow Inn a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that'll be up. That will definitely be up on the Super Value website, which is also, if you go onto your own website, there's a Super Value hub on your own website as well.
You can get it through our hub. Yeah. I did like that one, but if you were
actually, if you go into the Super Value website, there's actually a gluten-free section in it as well. And if you just type in, there's a space there that you can actually type in what recipe you're actually looking for. It will actually pop up for you. Look at that now. See the way that's thickened up? I'm going to turn off the heat on that. You get in there, Julian, and have a look at that. See the way that's just the eggs, the sugar, the lemon juice, and the zest of lemon. Okay. So that's nearly done. Okay, now you get butter. Okay, and what you do is you take it off the heat, and you're actually going to be adding the butter to that lemon mixture. And this is what basically is what's making the curd, right? So it's the butter that actually makes it really, really good. Oh,
Looking
it
good.
smells amazing, guys. This is like really good stuff.
My colleague
sticking it
Jennifer
up there.
just put up your recipes there in the chat for anybody who wants to see them. So you're on the call and on the webinar. If you look at the chat, there's the link there to the Super Value Real Food Recipes, free from recipes, and in there would be Kevin's recipes from today and of course from his previous times with us as well. Oh, here's a great question. I think, where did your interest in celiac disease and gluten-free cooking come from?
I think it's always been there in behind my head, if that makes sense, because I don't like using flour in savory dishes. I've never used it in soups. I've never used it in any of my gravies or sauces. I've always done reductions. I always found that it just sat better with me personally when I eat the food. And I just think that sometimes flour can actually take the flavor from the dish, if that makes sense.
No, I get where you're coming from.
So it's not that I have a huge passion for this. It's just the way I cook naturally. So I think that's probably where it comes from.
Absolutely.
And I have this really soft spot in my heart for anybody that is intolerant to something, whether it's dairy or gluten or whatever it is. I always say there has to be a solution for them because they have to enjoy food.
Yeah.
And if I can create a recipe that they're actually going to enjoy and feel as if they're not missing out, that's important to me. And it's important to me to share that with
where I would come from as well, because I tried very hard not to use flour in anything I cook, and I love to cook. Go on, how's that taste?
Look at this. I don't know yet. Are you looking? Are you watching?
Yeah, I'm watching you.
I've no words. It's that good. It's that good. So,
tell me now, could you do that with lime? Could you make a lime curd?
Yeah, absolutely. Or you could do it with oranges either. So orange, lime, any citrus fruit.
Great.
Okay. So I'm just going to show you how brilliant this is, right? So actually, let me come back to that because I'm going to make these fantastic cookies first. Okay. These are peanut butter and almond cookies. The easiest cookie you'll ever make, and probably the nicest ones you'll ever eat. Okay.
Go on, prove it.
I will, yeah. So, and it's so simple, right? So you have your sugar, your cashew sugar going into your bowl, right? You have your combination of your peanut butter and almond butter going in there. So it's kind of basically equal quantities of sugar to peanut butter or almond butter. You put 1 egg into it. Boom, like so. You have a teaspoon of baking powder. And then you're just going to mix those together. Let me move that to the side. Now, and for the chap that was on saying that he's very athletic, this is a great one. Okay, this is a great boost for you. So full of protein.
Looks great.
Okay. Now, how easy is that? That's your cookie recipe made.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, you do have to cook them, right? So other than that, so a bit of parchment paper. Look how quick that is. And they literally take 10 minutes in the oven.
Right, now I'm looking at those and I'm really, really thinking about making them this evening. Only I have a wife who's on a diet and I'm kind of wondering what calorie count is in those.
Well,
good calories is the answer. Good calories.
You know what I say to people? this is worth the crime.
Yeah.
Right? That's as simple as that, right? Boom, cookies like that. Pop those into the oven.
That quiche is looking good.
It certainly is. And boom!
Look at that.
We have some cookies already made here. You'd love one of these kitchens, wouldn't you?
I would.
Yeah, it's just a magic kitchen. Look, they're just delicious. They're crumbling. They just work. They just work.
They look fabulous. I'm certainly going to be making those this evening.
Oh, they're fantastic. Really
Good comment here says the cookies are for cheat days and to go on and make them. I think, yes, Monday will be a cheat day today.
Oh, I agree with you. So, and what's that called again?
Shan says she's hungry because she's watching all this cooking. And
Shannon, you know what? You've just won yourself a voucher for 50 euros with Super Value.
Well done, Shan. Hey!
I love your attitude. I love it. That's great. You have to enjoy food. Food is for living and enjoying yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we're going to make this lovely mousse now, okay? So we've made the lemon curd. We've just whipped up some cream. And we're just going to pour the lemon curd into the cream.
Oh, you're killing me. That's so good. It looks so good, but I know
just
it
like
would literally
stirring that through. And that is it. But what we're going to do is we have our two dishes. We're going to put some lemon curd in the bottom of our glasses. So this is like your little surprise at the end of the glass.
Oh, lemon mousse surprise. I love it.
And I just need to taste this just for, because it's very important to taste your food as you cook.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah. Just needs a little bit more lemon curd in there. That needs it all up there.
For people who are asking about the peanut butter, what brand did you use, Kevin? Obviously, Super Value brand.
I use the Super Value one. Where is it? Super Value Smooth, and then I use Meridian almond butter.
Great stuff. And don't forget, people, if you look in the food list, the Celiac Society's food list that you may have gotten as part of your membership, you will find all the details in there for both brands, and thank you, Kevin, and for the product as well. So it's just the index at the back will show you.
Yeah. And there's over 7,000 products in there, so you'll definitely find it.
7,510 to be precise.
I knew you'd know that number. I was only giving you a little prompt.
Can you freeze that cookie dough, Kevin?
You don't need to. So why would you need to? It's like,
well, exactly. I'd eat it sooner than cook it than freeze it.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
So while Kevin's doing that, I see a question here about somebody getting diagnosed in their late 40s and the damage that's been done. Your gut will heal. It'll just take anywhere between 6 and 9 months for it actually to heal. So in the meantime, think lots of vegetables and be kind to your gut. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with us here at the Celiac Society.
Okay, and then if you crumble the cookie on top of those.
Oh, Kevin.
I'm cruel. All right, I admit it. I'm cruel.
Mary Clancy says she's weak, like myself. She's weak here. 3 celiacs in this house, and we can't wait to try these. So she's off to Super Value to get the ingredients. Well done, Kevin. Job done.
There you go. Oh no, we've got some lovely raspberries here as well.
Oh, Christ! It only gets better. It's great. Are those cookies crispy? I don't know if they go in for the Paul Hollywood and Prue Leith snap from the Great British Bake Off, but I don't care. They look scrumptious.
I don't know if the sound is good enough for you. Oh.
No, that was more of a soft crumble.
No.
Nope, all I see is your lovely cheek.
No, did you not hear the crunch?
No, but I'm sure there's a crunch in there.
100%. 100%. Now, look at those guys. How could you go wrong with that? How could you go wrong?
You can't.
Not just like wonderful stuff.
And remember, if you're a member of the Celiac Society, it's how you get your food list. It's part of your membership. And next year, all going well, we'll be launching our food list app. And that will allow you to actually have the food list on your phone as part of your membership as well. Membership is only €35 for the year. And again, we have a free membership going on this call as part of the prizes, along with another Super Value voucher, a dietetic appointment with Sarah Kyo, our in-house dietitian, a Schnitzer Bread Loves boxes hamper. I'm delighted and looking forward to see what's in that. And of course, for Halloween, a Shelton distribution hamper full of sweets. Now, Kevin, how's that quiche?
That quiche is like fantastic. Look at that. Yeah.
My God. That is yummy. That just looks phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of stuck to the side though. It happens to me too. So if you do that, it just like...
Will it come away easy?
Yeah, it comes away. Sometimes it's just like, you know, around the top of the dish. It just like stick there. See the way it's coming away there. So that's always kind of an important thing to do, is just like poke it away from the side, just to make sure that it's loose. Sometimes the egg will spill over the edge of the potato here and kind of stick to the side of the dish. You want to just push that across like so. Okay. I hope you're praying for me there now, are you?
Saying a novena, pet. Saying a novena. There we go.
Oh.
Look at that magic quiche from his magic kitchen, from his magic oven. That just looks phenomenal.
Isn't it? But think about it. You've got that lovely mashed potato that's now become crispy. You've got that lovely egg. You've got that cheese, and you've got the vegetables happening in there.
Oh.
I mean, really, you really can't. Imagine serve that up with a bit of salad. I mean,
oh, that looks so good. I can see it. Look at the steam coming off of that.
Hold on.
Oh, he's
going to eat
it.
No, it's good.
Oh, people, this is too much. Can't take it.
It is brilliant.
How's your own cooking, Kevin? Is it good?
It is. I know it's quite cooking. Of course, it's absolutely divine. It's gorgeous. It's really, really good. But look how simple those recipes are, and how brilliant they are for the whole family. And
absolutely.
That's the most important thing. It's the whole family that are eating this food. And it's just like if you put that dessert up for any dinner party or Sunday lunch,
and nobody would even know that it was gluten-free. It's just gorgeous. It really is. It's phenomenal.
It's
lovely.
Just phenomenal. Yeah, it's good.
Kevin, I have a couple of questions here. Have you ever tried cooking with tiger nut flour?
No, I haven't actually. That's a new one on me.
I've never heard of it. This is a new one for me.
Is that like from the? Is that a fruit that's on our drinks?
I have no idea. I'm just waiting to see the person who. Somebody said gluten-free has come a long way from when bread came in a tin. Let me see. Has Super Value rice papers to make pancakes for aromatic duck, or any idea for an alternative? Not less.
We do in the Oriental section. You'll find it there.
Yeah, and because they're
rice papers,
they're gluten-free.
And the rice paper is brilliant if you want to do. It's used a lot in Vietnamese cooking.
Yeah.
So you just kind of dampen the paper, and then you do shreds of vegetables, and then you kind of roll it like a spring roll. Brilliant for like box lunches and stuff like that for schools, or if you're going to work for a day. If you are leaving your house to go to work, they're brilliant.
Yep. Kevin, any tips for making gluten-free scones?
Yeah, you definitely need the flour that's including xanthan gum, or add xanthan gum to it. What's a really good one to do is a drop scone. Right. So that drop scone is one that you would actually cook on the stove top. So you get like a skillet pan, like a pancake pan. Yeah. You want kind of a deep basin, and you make up your batter, so it looks more like a pancake batter, like an American style pancake batter. So it's like, if you think of crumpets, do you remember crumpets as we were growing up?
Yep.
and then you drop the batter into the pan, and then you let them sit for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then flip them over to the other side. Then it rises up because you'll have a bit of baking powder in the recipe. That recipe is definitely up on our website, supervalue.ie. So, and if it's not, email us and we'll get that recipe put up for you. I'm 99% sure it's there.
Great stuff.
It's a brilliant recipe. And if we have guests staying in the hotel that are gluten intolerant, it's the one thing that we do every morning for breakfast for people that are actually cooked to order. Because they only take, as I say, probably 7 minutes from start to finish, and you have them. So.
Okay, let me see. There's a couple more coming in here now. Let me very quickly. There's a nice one back here. Yeah, Kevin, what would you say is the best carb source for celiacs? Is a big side effect of tiredness is tiredness and fatigue. I suppose your regular carbs, your gluten-free pasta, your potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes are probably the most natural carbs that you can actually take. So yeah, so like that quiche, for example, is a brilliant source of carbs for you. The quiche that we just made.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, with that potato crust, it's ideal for you. It's really, really good.
Somebody said whatever about virtual smells, virtual tasting would be lovely.
Let me just feed it through the camera for you.
Yes, absolutely. I'll beam it up to you there now. The oven temperature, Kevin, for the quiche was what?
Was that 200 degrees actually?
And is that a regular oven or a fan oven now?
That was a fan oven, and the reason why I wanted it hot is because I wanted that potato to get crispy.
Yeah.
So normally I wouldn't cook a quiche at that temperature at all. It's just with this particular recipe, it's worthwhile.
Let me see, what else have we got? I presume the SuperValu obviously offer a delivery service, so you can order a lot of your gluten-free products online.
You can do it either way. You can actually shop in store. You can actually click and collect at your local SuperValu, and then the majority of our SuperValus are doing the home delivery as well. So you just go out to the website supervalue.ie and click shop, and you get a time slot. Yeah. And you can actually book it a week out or whatever suits you.
God, they're all coming in now. Any tips for a college student with celiac disease? Quick and simple recipes, please.
Yeah, like all those recipes, that quiche is really good. So you could actually make that up on a Sunday. You can divide it out and then portion it out for yourself. Those Vietnamese spring rolls that someone was talking about, another great one. You know, all the stir fries are really good. Even like if you look at Thai curries, green curries, all that sort of stuff is really good. You know, with your rices and stuff like that. I mean, the world's your oyster. I mean, there's loads of ideas out there. And
will
again,
Thai curry freeze with coconut milk in it?
What's that?
Will Thai curry freeze with coconut milk in it?
Yeah, it will do. But what I would suggest to do is with Thai curry, it's so simple and so fast to cook, anyways. But if you wanted to freeze a portion of it, I'd freeze the sauces in the portion size, and then get your chicken breast, slice that up, and then quickly stir fry that, and then add your sauce. You're going to have to wait for your rice to cook anyways, unless you're going to buy pre-cooked rice. But the rice will take 12 to 15 minutes to cook. You'll definitely have your curry made within that time. Can
you add meat to the quiche?
You can, absolutely. Listen, the quiche, that recipe that I showed you was a basic recipe, okay? But the world's your oyster in terms of what you can add to it. You can add prawns to it, you can add chicken to it, you can add turkey actually. For the athlete that was on there, turkey is a great source of protein, and it's the highest protein meats that's out in the marketplace. Very healthy to eat, very low in fat. We don't eat enough. We only eat it at Christmas time, but it's definitely worthwhile using turkey burgers, turkey mince, turkey meatballs. It's really, really good stuff.
Okay, I see a question coming here. One thing I miss is my granny's brown soda bread and nice alternatives. There used to be one in SuperValu, but it was gone the last year. Now I can answer that one. McCambridge's actually do a really good gluten-free brown bread mix, which I know is available in SuperValu. Is there anything you can recommend from a SuperValu perspective on top of that?
Well, we have a brilliant brown bread soda recipe on the website that's really simple to make. And it's one of the breads that I recommend for gluten intolerant because it works. It really works. We also have if you go on, this is possibly not on the gluten-free section of the website, but if you just put in porridge bread, and if you use it's a brilliant bread, absolutely brilliant bread. I made it through lockdown. Okay, it was a chap called Owen in Super Value swore Kevin. He says you have to make porridge bread, and I said, "Are you kidding me?" And then I made it, and I had to take my hat off to the guy because it's a brilliant recipe, and it's also gluten-free as well, which is brilliant as well.
And you can obviously make that with gluten-free oats as well.
Absolutely, gluten-free oats, but it's like a soda bread, except we just use porridge oats.
Grand, okay.
And it's fantastic. It's really, really good. I know. We've converted people that would eat brown bread all the time to this porridge bread.
Fantastic. I'll be looking at that one for sure.
Yeah.
Is the Super Value beef mince gluten-free? I miss having spaghetti, but I would have a fear of buying it since it does not have a label of gluten-free, whereas the burgers do. Well, beef mince, if you buy it from behind the butcher store, is gluten-free.
Yeah,
so
all the mince that's mince, not burgers or meatballs, but anything that's just minced from the butcher counter or in the pre-pack is gluten. There's no flour or bread or anything in those. In the burgers, some of the burgers will have, because it's part of the recipe, will have bread going in there.
Yeah.
Also, treat it like sausages, because you'll find gluten-free sausages.
Yeah.
And you'll find gluten-free burgers as well. So just watch the labels there.
So 2 questions for you. One is, do you have a gluten-free recipe for Christmas pudding?
I do.
Great.
Do you want it?
That's the do I want it? I think not just me, but Breda Banville does as well, and most of other people here on the call. And the second thing is gluten-free sourdough recipe. Oh, we're back to sourdough. Wait for it. Banana bread will be on the list next as well.
That, like, I've done it, and if you actually go onto my Instagram page,
great,
you'll see there's actually a section that says sourdough, and it's 7 steps how to make sourdough, and we did a gluten-free and a regular sourdough mix side by side all the way through. So if you look at those videos, there's 7 videos that actually creates a gluten-free sourdough. It works. It's not as good as the real one, but it does work.
Great. And the Christmas pudding, is there a recipe for that? Gluten-free one?
If not, we'll get one up for you. So check there. I'm not sure. Have we done a gluten-free Christmas pudding? No. It's very easy to do. It's been no problem. So no problem at all.
Great. Fantastic. Can I substitute the cheese and the potato base of the quiche with an egg or something else?
Sorry, can you read that again?
That's an odd question. Can I substitute the cheese in the potato base? Is there cheese in the potato base?
Yes, there is. There's actually Parmesan cheese. You don't need to put anything in it at all, okay? So you're fine. If you're going to do that, maybe add an egg yolk to the potato just to help it bind together.
Right, so that's what the question was. So I hope that answers your question for you Olive there now. What would you recommend for a 5-year-old who's fussy with food? Bed with no dinner.
Bribery. I don't know. It's what I always suggest, and that's what I've done with my children, and my children are older now. But ever since they were smaller, I just say, I just want you to try it.
Yeah.
So, and all I want them to do is have 1 spoonful of it, and then next week you give them another spoonful, and you educate their palate slowly, and then they'll start eating it. But you just say, you don't need to eat it, you just need to try it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it's like build it up that way. It's like your first pint of Guinness, you hate it.
Yeah.
Now I love them.
Is there a gluten-free brown flour that you would recommend?
Is it Dove do a good one, isn't it? Yeah, Dove do a good one.
Yeah, gluten-free brown flour. Okay, let me see.
Is it in the book?
Sourdough. Just throwing back to the questions here. I'm just looking through the questions here, folks. So if you have any questions,
there's those cookies.
They're a bit done. They're nice and brown, though. I bet you they.
I know, yeah. That's because I was chatting to you. So.
I'm sorry.
I'm
bold. What can I say? I'm really
that by now.
I'm just looking back through these now.
I'd say there'd be a crunch on those biscuits.
I'm sure there is, without a shadow of a doubt. I bet you they snap.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dove's Farm do a good one, and Sounds do one as well. Somebody says
Yeah.
Sounds gluten-free bread mix is delicious, and again, I would recommend not only that, but also the McCambridge's gluten-free bread mix as well. We really enjoy it here in our house. I'm just looking to see. Oh, one new message. Here we go. Sorry, I have to drop off to pick up the kids. Cheers, Lucy. Good luck. I hope you see you soon again at the next one. What's your favorite dish to make, Kevin? I mean, you don't sit down for gourmet food at home with your kids and family. I mean, what do you like to make at home of an evening? Or are you sick of cooking at that stage and want somebody else to do it for you?
No, I love cooking. So I don't really have a favorite dish to cook. It's like I go in. To me, it's all about the ingredients. So I buy the very best. So like when I go into my local Super Value, like the first thing I'll do is I'll buy my protein, whatever that is, and then I build my dish around that dish. So I might go up to butcher counter and see a beautiful Hampshire pork chop, which is a beautiful pork, free range pork chop, and I look at that and I kind of go, well, what goes with pork? So I think of apples. So then I go back and I look at the apples. Then I look at the vegetables, see what vegetable looks good. And I kind of build my dish around that.
Right.
I just love cooking naturally. You know, if I'm totally stressed on a day, I like to go home and I like to cook a risotto, because risotto is something that I just switch off when I cook.
That's me too.
It's like literally just stirring the rice.
It's meditation.
Total meditation, and at the end of it, you've got a beautiful dish in front of you, and you've forgotten about your worries of the day. So
that's my dish for this evening's dinner. Is going to be mushroom risotto made with mixed forest mushrooms and maybe a little bit of bacon thrown in there as well. So, but you're right, it's literally therapeutic just sitting there stirring. That's
lots of cheese, and a trick with a good risotto. Right at the end, when you take it off the heat, when it's cooked all the way through, get a good knob of butter and throw it in, and then just run that through the risotto.
Oh, I give that a laugh.
Julian is laughing here behind the camera because I can't cook a dish without using a bit of butter. I can actually, in fairness, I can. Did I use butter today at all?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I did, yeah. Oh, yeah, the lemon curd, sorry.
Yeah, you made with the lemon curd for sure. The links for the recipes that Kevin cooked today and all his recipes with Super Value are on the Super Value website, and they'll also be available through his Instagram page and of course through our own gateway here on the Celiac Society's Gluten-Free Living Show page and through our Celiac Society website. Pizza base, what flour to use? Gluten-free flour. Well, I suppose you want a strong flour.
You do, and it's probably I don't know. Do you know, the one I always go back to is the Dove. I just find that they're most closest one to using the real. You do need to use a good bit of xanthan gum in there as well, just to get, because with pizza it's tough. Like there is some gluten-free pizzas that are available as well, which aren't too bad actually. There's normally a company there that actually does a good gluten-free pizza that's usually at the show. It begins with what's the name of the pizza?
I can't remember. I do know.
Here, I can taste it, I just can't remember.
I can taste it, but can't remember. That's interesting. Usually I can remember it, but can't taste it. Somebody's asking about, is it possible to buy short crust pastry? I've only seen puff. Now, as it happens, that person who's asking that question, we are going to have later on this week, Mairead Finnegan of Roll It Pastry in association with Super Value, and she's actually comes out of the Food Academy with Super Value, and she has Roll It Pastry, I'm sure is available in all good Super Value stores around the country, and you can get both short crust and puff pastry and gluten-free pastry as well. So I would highly recommend.
By the way, she is brilliant.
Great.
Just so you know, she does a great thing. Why can't I find this in here? So.
Ah, yes. Somebody mentioned the pizza base. Be Free, of course, do a really good gluten-free pizza base that you can buy ready-made again in Super Values and good supermarkets. And I've had that pizza base. It's really good. It is very, very, very good.
Yeah, it's. I think really what you need to master, right, is to find a bread that works for you. right?
Yeah.
That you're able to make, right? Because everybody can make different breads. No one can make all the breads, right? So find the bread that's really good for you, because that's what you're going to miss the most, right? It's like when you talk to people that stay in Brody, they say, you know, it's bread because they associate being gluten intolerant bread, right? So find a bread, find a good carrot cake or a spongy cake that works for you. Once you get those two things right, the rest of it is easy. They're like cooking dinners and starters and desserts. They're easy. It's when you come down to just like the basic food,
Yeah.
like bread or cake. That's the one you need to master. Once you master that, you're cool.
You're flying. Kevin, before we go, I just want to announce our winners here this afternoon. Thanks again very much for your time. But our winners of our other Super Value voucher for €50 is Mary Clancy. Congratulations.
Good girl. Enjoy it.
Mahally won our won membership for a year, which is great. Niamh Allen won the dietetic appointment with our in-house dietitian Sarah Keogh. Nick Foley won the Schnitzer hamper. Nick, I want to know all about that love bread or bread love box that you got. I'm dying to see what's in it. And Joe Murphy won the Shelton hamper for the full of sweets for the kids for Halloween and hopefully for himself. Kevin, I can't thank you enough again for your
pleasure.
time.
It's always a pleasure.
Lovely to have this interaction with you and to, shall I almost say, virtually cook beside you. It's been an honor. Thanks very much, Kevin. And I'm sure from everybody on the call, we're delighted to have you. So thanks again. Take care.
Absolute pleasure. Look after yourselves, guys.
Cheers, Kevin. Thank you. Bye-bye.